Entrepreneurs, get ready. Get ready. Turn this up. Welcome to the Impact Over Everything podcast with Beez and Van. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good? We are here again for another episode of Impact Over Everything with your guys, Beez and Van. Hey, this is where we challenge everything.
And we stand for something so we don't fall for anything.
That's right. That's right. Let's get it. Van, what's good, brother, man? It was good seeing you over this weekend, man. We was up in LA together, rocking with our guy, brother Umar from the Bureau Bullies. An amazing weekend, man.
Absolutely, man. It was great, man. It was great. And this led me to what I want to talk about on this episode. I actually had something else, but I wanted to transfer to this, man, because I think it's really relevant. Even for today, it's relevant, right? We supposed to shoot our podcast on Friday. We end up having to do it now, a couple days after. Now we got our team. They're up against now a deadline to make sure we get this out for the people on the day that we committed to. But it goes back to this one thing that I learned probably about 2 years ago that really hit home for me. And is you got to execute when you're tired. And I want to elaborate on that, what I mean by that, right? Because obviously, all right, you got to execute, right? You're going to be tired. Yeah, but let's put a curtain back on it, right? I want to go a little bit deeper on this. So when we wake up in the morning, typically we're fresh, right? Given you did everything, proper the night before, you went out drinking, doing crazy stuff, right? Just in general, you should wake up fresh 100%. From the time you get up and you step foot out of that bed at 100%, immediately you start going down 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, right? By midday, depending on what you've done up to that point, you might be at 50%, 40%. And what's going to come into our brains is, damn, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And then from there, you look at everything you got left to do, and then you start making excuses. Man, I know I got to do this. Man, I'm tired, man. Let me sit down for a second.
Coffee ain't gonna help
Nah, bro. You gonna get some coffee and you still, you still gonna not be back to 100%, right? And then we start making excuses, right? It's that saying that fatigue makes a coward of us all, right? If you go back to, if anybody was an athlete, what happens when you get tired and you get fatigued? Your brain, right, starts playing tricks on you, right? You start literally not doing the things that you know you're capable of doing because your body tells you you're tired, right? So that's why athletes train so hard to push past that ability to, once you get fatigued, you can keep going and performing at a high level, right? So for entrepreneurs, we always got a million things going on. I know you busy, Beez, super busy. You got multiple companies, family, father, husband, you got everything, maybe not husband, but you know what I mean, right? You got responsibilities.
Yes, sir.
And it's times that we're tired. Like right now, earlier when we said, hey, listen, man, we about to shoot. I was laying down, right? I'm like, all right, bro, give me 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes and we gonna rock and roll, because at that point, my mind told myself, you're tired. You need to lay down. You need to put the other 4 things that you're supposed to be doing right now on hold, and you need to lay down for a second. Now, did that laying down make me less tired? Nope. It made me more tired, right? So it's an excuse that will hinder results. So what I tell myself when I get tired and when I'm about to tap out, that the goals you have, the impact that you want to make, there's a prerequisite for you to execute while you're tired, because that excuse is going to be there every time you want to go pull from it. Every time you want to go pull from it, it's right there sitting ready to go at hand's reach, that you could pull that tired card and use that as an excuse not to execute. So one of the solutions that I've done, right, because this is about solution, I don't want to give the problem, I want to give the solution, is that strategically in certain areas of my house, I have my goals. I have my vision of what I want to achieve. So right when I'm walking to that bed, or right when I'm walking to that couch, I visually can see, That's why I got to keep going. Oh, you want to make 100 millionaires? Oh, okay. Well, guess what, buddy? You better wake your ass up and get from that bed and go shoot that and go film that podcast, because you told people you was going to show up. You told people that you was going to come and have a new episode every Tuesday. You told people that it's impact over everything. So when you're sitting here laying down now, not only are you letting yourself down, but you're letting thousands of people down. Thousands of people down because you've decided to use that excuse that's right there for you, that you're tired.
Yeah.
What you think about that, bro? What do you think about executing when you're tired? Give the people some experience on
bro, that. I love it, man. I love what you're saying. It's the truth, because, you know, it's not just about being tired. It's about that mindset of excuses, right? Because even if I'm not tired, sometimes it's like, oh, I just got so much stuff to do. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, right? And that mindset is that it's a killer. It kills too many people. It kills dreams and everything. I'm gonna tell you something. Sorry, one of my mentees on my round table, right? He sent me a message and it touched me. I feel like, listen, I feel like I get inspired by people so much more than people realize, because everybody's like, oh, you're inspiring me, Beez. I'm like, nah, y'all are inspiring me, man. Y'all got me motivated and got me keep moving. I already told that story about how Omar inspired me and had me like grinding even more. Yeah. But one of my mentees sent me a message, right? You know, the round table, we meet every Tuesday, every Thursday, right? So one Thursday, it was my twins, my 6-year-old twins. It was their graduation from kindergarten, right? And I still showed up on the round table. Fortunately, I had a speaker that night, but I still had to come in, you know, I had to do the intro, you know, talk to everybody. I was checking how everybody doing. And, you know, we still had a good night, actually a great night. Everybody's like, oh man, that was amazing. I loved it. This one person sent me a text message and he was like, Beez, I just want to let you know, man, I really appreciate that you showed up even though you had your kid's graduation. Because if it was anybody else, they probably would have been like, yo, it's my kids that comes first. And my kids do come first. But I made a commitment to everybody on the round table, right? I made a commitment that like you just said, I made that commitment that I'm gonna be there for them. I made that commitment that I'm gonna help to level them up. We rocking all year. So I couldn't just ignore it. I couldn't just be like, hey guys, I'm busy. I can't do that right now. You know, I had to split the time a little bit, but you know, I made it happen. No matter what, you got to make things happen. And that motivated me, inspired me. It touched my heart to hear him say that, man. I really appreciate it. And I told him, I was like, yo, that really means a lot. He was like, nah, it means a lot that you came out. You showed up no matter what. And that's an example for me now to make sure that I'm going to show up no matter what. Because there's some times that I feel like I may not be able to make it to the round table, Beez. Like I'm doing something at work or whatever it may be, but I'm gonna make sure I show up no matter what, and I'm gonna execute no matter what, because you putting in that time for us. So I owe it to you and myself to make sure I put that time in for me too. And I was like, yo, that's what's up. That made me feel good, man. So that's just an example right there. You know, if you feel that, you know, it's just you don't have the time, you're tired or whatever it may be, what are you sacrificing? What are you giving up? Like Van said, you know, thousands of people are going to suffer from him not showing up for something that he promised. So what are you giving up if you put aside what you should be doing because you're tired or bored or whatever it may be, overloaded, whatever? You know, what are you missing out on? What you giving up on?
Yep, I agree. There was a situation that happened last week, actually. It was a Thursday. I usually do my group coaching every other Thursday. And somehow an email went out that I was supposed to be going last Thursday when it was supposed to be this Thursday. And it was like 4 minutes before. I could have easily said, you know what? It was a mistake on the email. We're going to meet on our normal time. But I said, you know what? And I'm going to be honest, I was exhausted at that point that day. You know, for whatever reason that was going on that day, I was very tired and exhausted. But I said, you know what? There's a reason why I need to get on this call. So I got on the call, right? And after that call, I would say at least 4 people hit me up and was like, man, I needed that. I needed what you were just talking about. So I'm like, damn, if I wouldn't have came on, if I would have canceled that call, which I had the total right to cancel it because it wasn't a call scheduled, I wouldn't have been able to give that impact to those 4 people that needed specifically. I didn't have a topic planned out. I just went off the cuff of what I felt like that group needed at that moment. So I just kind of freestyled it. And what we talked about really impacted 4 people specifically, at least that have reached out to me, that they really needed that at the time because they were going through some mindset issues, because we talked about mindset. So that's a time that I overcame being tired, right? Now, let me tell you some times where I didn't overcome being tired, and I was being tired made me a coward, like they say, right? Fatigue makes us a coward of us all, and some opportunities that I've missed out on. There was a couple, I'll give one specific example. I was supposed to go to an event. It was a live event, and it was on a Saturday and Sunday. And I was grinding that week. I was just all in on what I was doing, and I was extremely tired, and I didn't go to that event. And what I missed out on was an opportunity to get into this real estate deal. And this real estate, because I wasn't there, right? So obviously I wasn't there. I wasn't able to network. I wasn't able to get done. And this deal ended up making probably about 40 to 50K profit for the people that got into that deal. And I know if I would have went to that event, I would have got into that deal. So me being tired, me making an excuse, you know what? It's been a long week. I got a lot accomplished. You know what? I'm gonna go to the next event. Cost me 50K and a relationship to make 50K over and over and over and over and over again, right? So I don't know how much it cost me. Really, I can't even quantify what I lost by using the excuse of being tired to not be able to go to that event to get going, right? So I think a lot of times, even if you're successful, I'm not even talking about people that are lazy, not getting the results in their life. I'm talking about for my guys out there that's a go-getter. You making it happen. You making money. You get an impact. It still creeps in to us. No matter how successful you is, that's when it really creeps in, because the devil tries to hit you in different ways, right? Yeah. It tries to hit you in different ways. If it knows it can't get you with the big stuff, right? The big things that he can get you sidetracked with, right? I would call it the deadly sins, right? The 10 deadly sins. If he can't get you with the big stuff, then he gonna get you with fatigue. Oh man, you could put that off. Oh man, you ain't gotta go to that event. You already doing your thing. You already making money. Oh man, you ain't gotta go do that podcast. Oh man, you ain't gotta talk to that client right now. You could tell them you gonna get on with them next week. You already doing it. You making impact, right? So that little voice in your head that uses that tired excuse, that like, man, you burnt out, like you got so much going on. Let me just relax. Because at the end of the day, right? If you just sitting relaxing, if you just sitting chilling, if you just sitting resting, and you talking about you want to make impact, and you talking about you want to do all these big things for other people, you can't let your bank account and what things you got in place and what level of success you have stop you. Because if your mission is to go out and impact other people, what your ability to be financially free has nothing to do with your success. Right? It has nothing to do with your success, because if your vision is to help other people make money or help other people get somewhere in their mindset or their health or their fitness, wherever you're at doesn't matter. What are you doing to help other people? And if your fatigueness or your tiredness or your multiple businesses that you got going on is giving you the excuse that you don't got to go this extra mile, then you don't want what you really say you want. And that's what I always have to tell myself. I have to tell myself, get your ass up. Because if you really talk about impact over everything, you can't be chilling right now. You can't not take that call. You can't not go on that flight. You can't not go to that event. You can't not go meet my man Beez in LA and go to Umar's event and speak and do all of that, right? What did Umar tell us, bro, when we was on the car? After his event, after this brother has went, set up event all day, spoke, went to a dinner with all his students, after at night, what was it, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, go shoot content with us. He like, man, I ain't slept in 2 days. Yeah. But I'm with it. I'm with it because
no hesitation.
I go 3 days sometimes without sleeping. And mind you, this is not a dude that's doing drugs, that's doing things to keep him up. His passion keeps him awake. His passion keeps him awake. Because he took us all to dinner and didn't eat. Right? He like, how the food tastes. We like, oh man, I don't eat. I can't eat like that when I'm doing events because I don't want that to slow me down, man. I've been up for 3 days. Focused, giving back, giving his all to the community. So when he said that, I'm like, damn, I got to reevaluate my situation because I was tired. I wanted to tap out. I wanted to be like, man, you know what? Let's just go back to the hotel. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, whatever the case may be, right? But I had to push through that, right? We got some dope content. We had some conversations with some good people.
Yep.
And it was good, but that tiredness, that coward was coming in to my ear like, hey, bro, you tired? You done a lot. You spoke today. You already talked to a lot of people. Take it down. Shut it down. But that I'm gonna pass it back to you, bro. But I'm getting juiced up, bro, because I realize that excuse is right there for us so much, and we grab it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I grab it sometimes and use it and feel decent about it. Like, yeah, I did a lot today. Shit, I'm tired. But we can't let it win, bro. We can't let it win.
Facts, bro. Man, you speaking right now, bro. That's all I can say. I mean, you just mentioned something in particular, because remember earlier in the week I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and make it. You like, stop saying try, Beez. You're like, yo, you coming, right? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try. You like, no, don't say try. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. And I bought that ticket Thursday to fly out Friday. And I almost didn't come because, I had so much going on, but I was like, nah, I gotta go. And if I ain't go, man, I wouldn't have gotten some extra game from Umar, from some of the people, his students that have run the plays themselves and figured out other, ways to manage it. Oh man, I was enlightened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm forever a student. No matter how much I teach people, I'm forever a student. So if I didn't make it happen, as tired as I was, and hey, listen, I got 4 kids. I got over 11 businesses. It's like, if anybody can say maybe they tired, maybe I could get a little slack for saying that. But nah, bro, I had to, make it out there, and I would have regretted it if I didn't.
So remember that thing you told me when we was in Atlanta, right? We was gonna do a reel on this, and we definitely still need to do the reel on this particular topic. When someone comes up to you and you's like, nah, I ain't got time. Instead of, okay, so let's do it. Let's play it out, right?
There we go.
So let's say, hey man, you going to take your kid to his camp next week?
Nah, that's not a priority. See, most people will be like, oh man, I don't got time. But if you change the words, just say, nah, that's not my priority right now. Or that's not my priority. Just say that. And then see how that makes you feel, right? Saying that, nah, my kid ain't my priority. Right? Because we let things slip too easily when we say, oh, I ain't got no time. But saying it that way, nah, that's not my priority. That's going to make you think, really. Because if you tell me, hey, did you watch the new, I don't know, whatever on Netflix? I could easily say, nah, that's not my priority. I'm going to be right about that. I'm going to feel like, passionate about that. That's not my priority. But if you tell me, if my child comes in and says, Dad, can you come help me to, do my homework? And I say, that's not my priority. I'm going to rethink things. Bruh. But listen, we need to get into our new segment, man.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna roll this out, man.
Let's go.
I know y'all. We've been just flowing on these last podcasts, but we gonna get better as we go, y'all. So just hey, ride with us at the bottom, and we gonna keep getting better. I promise you. So we're gonna introduce something now that we're gonna do on every segment or every podcast, and this is gonna be the Entrepreneur Spotlight. So during the spotlight, we're gonna highlight an entrepreneur. And it might not necessarily be somebody It might not necessarily be that big name person that's, got a lot of things going on social media that everybody knows. Nah, we get into people that's making an impact that might not necessarily be known to everybody. So we can get them known because they are making an impact. So this segment is the Entrepreneur Spotlight. Who you got for the first one, Beez?
So I got a young entrepreneur. I think he's 23 years old, and he's, I'm sure he feels like he ain't killing the game, but the young brother is doing great things. He's making moves. He's speaking up. He's impacting people already. All right. So take a look at this video from our young brother, CEO Jayshawn Petit. Jayshawn, let's go.
Hey, what's up, Beez? It's Jayshawn Petit. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. You told me to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 23 years old. I've been in the credit repair industry for about 3 to 4 months. But not the credit repair industry. I've been doing credit for about 3 to 4 months. Just learned about credit like 2 years ago before I graduated college. Just graduated college last year. Then that's when I had bought the credit course after I graduated college. I always been an entrepreneur, sold cars from the auction, wholesale houses, did all the things just to try to get some money to try to sustain. But I've been doing that for about 3 to 4 months, and I'm really looking forward to working with you two guys for this credit repair to help me scale my business, and I really do appreciate it. And I'm so excited. I barely can talk, y'all. So just get back to me.
All right, guys, that was what's up, man. That was CEO _ Jayshon Petit. That's JASHUN PETITE. Jayshon Petit. The young brother's doing some big things, man. So we want to make sure that we spotlight this entrepreneur as he continues on his journey. And, that's what we're about. We're trying to uplift the community and give everybody an opportunity. So what you think, Van?
I think, man, he's young. He got that energy. I heard it in his voice. He got that passion, and he's only been doing his credit repair a couple months, and he's already making an impact. He said he used to sell cars from the auction. So, he's doing his thing, man. He's out there providing for himself, for his family, making an impact with others. Anytime you want to help people with their finances and financial literacy, you definitely got to care about people getting to a certain level in their life and helping people level up. So for him being so young and to be already that focused and really diving into, really to give back, really, because if you a service-based business to where you serve other people to help them get somewhere, you got to be able to want to have impact and give back. So, I saw his Instagram. He's doing some good things. He's traveling. He's going to events. He's investing in himself. Man, I'm excited to see what's next for him, and I just want to give him his flowers right now, man. You doing your thing, bro. And everybody definitely check that man out, man. And he might have something for you that you can benefit from.
Definitely, salute to the young brother. And if you are interested in potentially being spotlighted on our Entrepreneur Spotlight segment, send a quick video explaining what you do, who you are. Send it to the Impact Over Everything podcast on Instagram. Send it in DM, and you never know, you may be our next spotlight.
Absolutely. So one thing that I want to go back to real quick for all my entrepreneurs out there that are grinding, and I'm gonna talk specifically. I want to talk specifically to my people that still got a 9-to-5 out there. That's grinding at 9 to 5, but then it's still hustling that entrepreneurship lifestyle outside of their 9 to 5. They're getting some businesses going. They making it happen. They eventually want to fire their boss or potentially keep their job and just keep this thing that they got going on the side, this other business on the side. And you might have a family. You might be married. You might have a husband. You might have a wife. You might have a girlfriend. You might have a boyfriend. You might have some kids. It's going to be extremely difficult to always have full energy. It's impossible. It's never going to happen. You're never going to be full of energy. You're always going to have some sort of fatigue, some sort of mental drain fatigue too. I'm not even talking about physical, right? Because we ain't on the football field, banging pads, and you ain't on the basketball court running up and down. I ain't talking about that fatigue. I'm talking about mental fatigue, to where you're just mentally tired and drained from all the BS you're dealing with at your job. The things that you got to do, sales, marketing, dealing with clients. Then you got to be a mom. Then you got to be a dad. Then you got to be a husband. You got to be a wife. You got to be a boyfriend. You got to be you serving. Then if your parents are still here, you got to be a son. You know what I mean? You got to be a brother. You got to be a sister, right? All the different things that come along with life, you got to deal with it. What I would say to all of those people going through that is that have a strong why. Have a strong why. If you don't know why you're doing what you do, it's real easy to cop out to the tired thing. I'm telling you, at times in my life when I was lost, and I'm gonna be lost. Yeah, lost, meaning you don't know specifically where you're going. I'm not talking about like lost on the streets, bumming, but just lost in your journey. You know you want to get somewhere, but you don't know specifically where. You kind of just lost, right? You know you need to hustle. You know you need multiple sources of income, but you don't really know the destination. You just kind of out there lost. It's easy to tap out when you're tired. It's easy to go through those ups and downs more frequently because you don't have that strong why. So really get that why down. And I know we hear this a lot. What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? but it's not a cliche. It's real. You got to have a why. Like, we doing this podcast because we literally, like the title, want to impact people more than everything else we do. Mm-hmm. Because I know for a fact, Beez is successful. On paper, the man is successful, right? He don't got to talk to nobody if he didn't want to ever again in his life, right? I have some level of success as well. But if you take away people from what I do, my success stops. Because for me to get success, I need people to be impacted in a positive way, right? Outside of maybe this last business I just got into with these damn cars, every other business that I got requires me to impact people in direct relation to my income. Yeah. So if I don't impact people, I don't bring in income. And I like it that way. Some people might be like, that's not the way. You should have something else set up and all of that stuff, which is cool. I get it, but not me. For me, I've accepted my purpose of being able to impact people. And the more people I impact, the direct relation that's going to come with my income. And then I can help even more people with the income, because I don't want money just for the sake of having money. So for all of you guys out there that's going through what you're doing, get a why, get a strong why, and you'll be able to push through, even if it's 10% further than what you've been pushing. It ain't going to be 100% of the time. Trust me, tiredness will take you out sometimes. It's not going to be, you're not going to be perfect. It's going to take you out. You're not going to win that battle every time. But as long as you winning it 75% of the time, 80% of the time, maybe even 90%, you doing good, right? You doing good.
I tell you, bro. So I want everybody to realize too that it's never too late, and things change over time, right? My passion coming up wasn't what it is now, right? You know, there was a certain point in time, I think it was once I had kids, my first child, I was like, damn, my passion became, I want to impact kids, right? But that was more so my kids. That's what I was more focused on at one point. And then, you know, I told the story this weekend about how I was hustling to disappear. You know, other people hustling to be seen. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't even want to be known. I was good. I'm like chilling. I was making my money. My kids was good. I was starting to, you know, plan and prep for things for them. But then when I realized that, I should try something else. I should try to see how much other people I can impact. Then that became my passion, right? It wasn't always, I ain't gonna lie, but it became my passion. And it's amazing how far I've gone since making that decision, pivoting in my life, right? And when I say how far I've gone is now I'm impacting hundreds and you know, thousands of people, right? I have my students, I have people who just tap in and listen. You know, we go out on different philanthropy, you know, initiatives in order to help more people. So now I'm creating this legacy, this impact that's, you know, all the way up here, man. It's just amazing. And I'm more fulfilled than I ever was. But I didn't know that this was my passion before. And I also want to say that one of my favorite TED Talks, right, is by a guy named Simon Sinek. And it's not actually called The Power of Why, but that's the whole thing. I think it's something about leaders is the actual name of it. Like why powerful leaders or people who follow certain leaders, something like that. But look up Simon Sinek, right? Now, in it, he talks about why it's important to have your why, right? And people don't follow what you do, or they don't buy what you sell. They buy your why you sell it, right? That why resonates with them more than anything, right? And when you have people that resonate with your why, they become your advocates. They become your champions, right? They're going to rock with you even more, and they're going to defend you to other people because you first know your why, and then they're able to resonate with your why, and then it becomes a bond, right? So it's extremely important that you first identify your why. It's going to help to push you along. But then other people are going to resonate with your why, and you create this community, this collective, right? It's a real community, not just a bunch of followers, but an actual community of people who are your champions, your advocates, and they're helping you to build even more and grow even more, and you're helping each other. So it's an amazing thing once you do know your why. The power of this concept is stronger than most people think. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up tonight, bro. This is definitely an important topic.
Yeah. So that's, bro. Listen, all these people doing these podcasts out here, hey, I respect everybody that's killing the game in these podcasts. But one thing over here, Impact Over Everything, we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. We ain't got no agenda.
This is supposed to be a business podcast, but
we talking about whatever we want to talk about. And honestly, today, I just felt that this was the best thing to talk about because we going through it right now. The best thing to talk about is something you're going through right now that you got relevant. It's relevant to what you're experiencing in your life, right? Versus us planning out the next 14 episodes and we got certain topics and all that. I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't even have the next episode planned out. But how long ago did we come up with this topic? 15 minutes before we was 10 minutes before we was scheduled to film. But that's the best thing because it's real. Like I said, I have an Instagram post that says, just tell your story, right? And if it's a real story, people that's rocking with you is going to resonate with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't giving no fake stories. This is real life, what we're going through right now. We don't got to manufacture it. Ain't no script. It's real. Yeah. And people are going to resonate with it, right? They're going to be like, damn, I'm going through that same thing right now. Damn, okay. Man, I was just thinking about how I can do right there. So as long as it impacts one person, if one person listening to this says, you know what? That podcast episode impacted me in a way that now I can go find my why. I can maybe, when I am tired, think about how Beez and Van overcame when they was tired. If they can do it, I can do it. Whatever the case may be, that's why we do this, you guys. So for all you guys out there that are looking to start something and you ain't started because you want it to be perfect or you might not have everything together, listen, don't do that. We ain't have nothing together we had some stuff together, but we didn't have it the way I ideally looked at having this. We wanted a nice set. We wanted to do, be able to be in the same area. We wanted to all of these things and Beez say, you know what? Nah, bro, by this Monday, we gonna have this podcast out. And I'm like, damn. So I was not nervous, but I had anxiety because I'm like, this ain't gonna be right. We don't got the same this, that, right? And once we did it, it was just like, all right, cool. We did it. And now I'm glad we did it because now I look forward to getting on, talking, giving this to the people and things of those natures, man. So just start. If you got something you want to start, don't wait till it's perfect. Ain't no such thing as perfect. Just start, get it together. Let people see the come up. Because I promise you, our podcast is gonna keep getting better. Eventually we will get a set. Eventually we will have things and you'll be like, man, I was rocking with them dudes when they first came on and, they was all over the place and now they together, man, I got some nuggets every time, whatever the case may be. Those are the ones that's going to be the ones that's rocking with us. Cause they like, man, I was with them dudes from the beginning on episode 1 on the trailer.
They hearing all the stuff in the background. We ain't in no soundproof room or nothing. I know y'all hearing them cars driving by and whatnot, but that's how it is. It's real. We just get into it because we want to talk. The message is more important than the delivery in this case. So this is big. But we got it. We don't even have an official name for this other segment right now. But we also got to always make sure that we wrap it up with some business tip, some sort of business strategy, some sort of play for everybody, because we still supposed to be a business podcast, so we'll give a little something. So what you think right now? And I'm putting my guy on the spot right now because we didn't even talk about this. Now it's like, okay, well, what play we gonna go into? You know what I mean? But it's important, and I'm gonna keep talking to give him a little moment to think. So
yeah. Let me think. I do got something, but go ahead.
The last thing I want to say though is that another post that I got is it says it's one thing to learn to play or hear to play. It's a whole next level to run the play, right? And that's the key. My guy Van was talking about that this weekend too, is that, you note takers are money makers, but they only money makers if they actually execute on what they taking notes about, right? So you got to run the play, right? You got to execute, and you'll hear tons of tips from us all the time. But if you don't do nothing with it, then if a tree falls in the forest, did it really fall? You heard that before. So Van, what you think? What play we gonna drop them?
Bro, you put me on the spot. This is what we gonna do. I'm gonna let you roll this one out. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired.
Whatever, man. All right. So listen, this is what we're gonna talk about today. Fintech. All right. Listen, a lot of people come to me. One of them, Business Builder Beez. I'm talking about how you build businesses and how you do scale it with process systems people. I'm talking about the different businesses that I run. All of these things, the car rental game, the Airbnb, the marketing company, the supply chain management, the e-commerce, the everything, right? Home healthcare just launched. But one of the things that people come to me the most about is funding, right? Business credit and funding. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick play around funding, right? Because whatever business you're trying to start, especially as a new entrepreneur, especially one of the things that we say is like, oh man, how am I going to be able to afford to pay for, VA? How am I going to afford the system or inventory or whatever, right? So fintech, that's what I want y'all to look into. Fintech stands for financial technology. There's a bunch of these fintech companies that have been coming out, fintech platforms that have been launching and been integrating into some of the more traditional banks as well, right? Now, fintech, what it does is it kind of changed the game a bit. In order to get funding, you had to get your personal credit had to be good in order for you to do a PG, personal guarantee, and then get the loan in the business name, right? But if you find a fintech bank, I'll give you 3. Divvy, I think it's DIVVY DIVVY. Divvy is one. Capital on Tap is another one. And Brex is another one. Hell, Ro is another one. I give you 4, right? RHO, Ro. If you go to one of these fintech institutions, platforms, they look at your business history. So if you have like 3 months of banking history, they're just looking at your revenue and what type of money is running in and out of the bank. Some people like to say, hey, if I just put $50,000 in my bank account for one day and then go apply, then they'll give me they'll approve me for whatever. It may happen sometimes, but to be honest, they're more so looking at history, business history. And you could have $1,000 in your bank account right now, in your business bank account right now, but because you were up and down, cycling, churning 50,000, 100,000 through over each month or whatever, they may offer you $100,000. Now, some of the fintechs are only going to be like a charge card, like an Amex, where okay, they gave you 80,000, but you got to pay it off each month, type of thing, right? So some of them are like that. Others may say, okay, you got to pay at least 10% off of the balance each month, right? So it's up to you to find which one it fits your situation, your needs the most. But definitely running fintech banks, they'll approve you instantly. They don't worry about your personal credit. Some of them do a soft pull just to verify that you are who you say you are, but they don't actually run it, put no hard pull on your credit, and everything's in your business name, and you get money that quick. It's like a snap of the fingers, man. I have some people who've already said, hey, I got, $50,000 in less than 24 hours. Bam. Thank you, Beez. So listen, y'all got the play now. Run the play.
Run the play. Run the play. That was a nugget for sure. So listen, guys, we brought it to you. This is the only fee for this podcast. So if you made it this far, that means you got some value. If you made it this far, that means you got some value. All we ask is you share it with 2 people, pay the fee, share it with 2 people that you feel could benefit from this podcast. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to all the streaming platforms that you're listening to, follow the subscription so you can see and know anytime we're going on the podcast. It's every Tuesday. We're going to drop a new episode. And no matter what, if we tired or not, we're going to bring it to you guys. And Beez, I'm going to let you take us out, bro. Just don't tell them, see you on the flip side. Don't tell them that.
See you on the flip side. Hey, listen. Nah, but for real, guys. Hey, thank you for rocking with us. This is Beez and Van bringing you that Impact Over Everything podcast every Tuesday. Listen, we here for you. And as long as you execute, you can level up along with us. Let's go.